That is very close.
Am I that close?
You're pretty close. I mean, your face was in the camera. That's why I was saying that. Yeah, that's a little close.
It's because we moved the thing my laptop sits on up. I did not notice until now. Welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Marcus. That's the guy.
Yep, I'm the heel.
Or the heel, as he likes to call himself.
Before we get started with the NXT podcast, I just want to. All right, Liz is gonna yell at something.
The Yankees had a run, and then it was 0-0 again. I was like,
okay. Before we get started with the post show with the podcast officially, I just want to make an announcement that on Monday before Raw, we will be live streaming our WWE 2K20 universe. We've got competing brands, and we'll be starting officially with SummerSlam on Monday. We would be doing it on Sunday, but All Out is Sunday, and Monday's Labor Day, so we thought, why not do it early on Monday before Raw? So definitely tune in then at about, what time should we say? Raw starts at 8. Maybe we start at like 4? 3?
4.
4? Okay. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. It'll also be going up on YouTube. But you'll definitely want to join live because it'll be a lot of fun. We've got half the card already prepped. My half, Liz has nothing right now. And that's the beauty of Liz's show.
just like Raw, we don't have a plan until about 2 hours before we go live.
Don't say we.
No, I mean me and my show,
Okay.
not you. Yeah, no.
But
Me and the cat.
please give me your card before Sundays or before Monday so that I can post the card on Twitter. I've been going through a lot of effort of making the match cards, so if Liz could get me her matches, that would be awesome. Because otherwise I'm just advertising my matches, and that's what everyone's coming to see. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just kind of hoping that you'd, like, I don't know, say I was cute in that condescending way where I know that you're still frustrated with me, but it's still a compliment at the end of the day.
So Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, SummerSlam, right here at twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast. All right. So this is NXT. Right, Liz?
Yes.
So Liz, this is baseball.
I'm doing both. I've got both things. Very good. I'm confused. That's all.
So I'll introduce the show then. This is NXT.
I already introduced the show. Just because you didn't listen.
I did listen, but you didn't finish it. You didn't finish.
I didn't have a chance to because you cut me off.
Pinfall Podcast.
Yeah, but you cut me off before I could say Happy NXT Day.
There you go. You said it.
Thanks.
This is yet another taped NXT. Will be. I don't know when they're returning live. I think it's the 14th, the day of Index's wedding.
I still had something resembling a article about it. I would tell you, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Couldn't really hear you there.
I'm sorry. I said if I had something resembling an article, I would tell you, but I don't have anything at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good show. It was a pretty decent episode, I would say.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Also, you might want to move your cup because your straw is in the frame. Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty good show. We haven't seen any of the changes yet, and that's probably why they switched to taping so that they could make the changes to the CWC and the branding and everything, and then we come back to the new look of it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they have to make the changes at some point. I don't think they can do that all in 1 week. But yeah, this NXT was pretty darn good. But there was a noticeable change being made. I don't know if you've been noticing it. A lot of the big guys that have been around in NXT have been going up and feuding with the newer guys. You know, Champa and Ridge, Roddy and Ikemen, Johnny and LA Knight. These newer guys are feuding with older guys, and some of them are even winning, possibly to try and push them aside, push the newer guys to the top, kind of skyrocket them immediately. I think that's what they're doing with Carmelo Hayes as well, next week. But it still gave us some great matches. Like Kyle O'Reilly and Duke Hudson was fantastic. Johnny and LA Knight was incredible.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. There were a couple duds and some confusing stuff, but you know, it's a 2-hour show. You're gonna have some of that. Also, I just go ahead.
No, keep going. I was just gonna say I agree, but keep going.
I just want to mention, I have all of my episode ratings charted out on a sheet, and they're separated by show. And NXT, like if something is above a 5, it's green. If something's below 5, it's red. There are a couple shows that are like all green, like NXT, Dynamite, Rampage, NXT UK. But then you get like, and then there's just all red with like Raw, SmackDown, Impact's kind of half and half. And then you go to like pay-per-views are all green. Hasn't been a bad pay-per-view yet this year.
Really? Yeah. Well, I guess I agree, except for Fastlane. I don't agree with that.
Luckily, I hadn't started doing these ratings at that point.
Yeah.
Well,
that would explain that.
But yeah. So, good episode. Pretty good episode. A lot lined up for next week. Do you want to jump into the news real quick?
I do. I have a couple pieces, but not too many. And I told Mark he's gonna be super excited. I have 2 pieces of news about trademarks. Let's get into it. Let me fucking learn how to speak.
You're watching on YouTube. You can skip ahead to when Liz changes the sign to matches and promos from the Pinfall Podcast sign. Oh, there we go. So now you can skip ahead to matches and promos to avoid talks about trademarks.
You know, I bet somewhere in your heart of hearts, there's a nice man waiting to come out.
Oh,
I know somewhere there
nice
is.
To say.
You're being mean.
I'm just joshing.
My name's not Josh.
So what's the news about trademarks?
Actually, that is not the first piece of news that we're going to talk about today.
Can't just get it out of the way.
No. First piece of news that we are going to talk about tonight is that the former WWE star Tajiri is announced for MLW Fightland. That is going to be his debut, and it's going to be on October 2nd.
Tajiri's pretty cool. He's had a lot of like really cool matches. I think one of them was when he came on like a paper mache mask and was just standing there all creepily in the ring. I didn't watch the entire match, but the dude's really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to do now that he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
Want to see how that translates. Also, other non-WWE news is that another person has been added to the Casino Battle Royale for All Out on this coming Sunday. And that is Kiera Hogan.
Yeah, that's aside from Emi Sakura and Hikaru Shida, who are added on Dark Elevation.
Yeah, so far the full list is Big Swole, Diamante, Emi Sakura, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill, Julia Hart, Kiera Hogan, Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Ty Conti, The Bunny, and Thunder Rosa.
Anna Jay will probably be in there.
I was going to say, a lot of people are speculating that because of Penelope and The Bunny teaming up, we're going to finally get Anna Jay back, and it's going to be a fun time for Elizabeth.
Yeah. Fun time for all AEW fans.
So let's talk about these trademarks. The first one is it seems that we have a name for the Queen of the Ring tournament that's going to end up happening, and I think they are going to call it the Queen's Crown Tournament, which actually kind of has a nice ring to it. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
They trademarked that. They also trademarked the new NXT logo, which is not important, but they trademarked that, so it seems like that's going to be the name of that tournament. And then they also trademarked Von Wagner, which somebody suggested it was for Walter, but you gave me a better suggestion that makes a lot more sense.
I think it was PW Insider or Cultaholic or some source had reported that it's for Cal Bloom, formerly known as Cal Bloom.
Or if you've watched us enough, Baby Edge.
Yeah, a guy who looks a lot like Edge. Yeah. So we'll probably be seeing him sometime soon. He's been in dark matches on main roster. Beat Austin Theory recently, which has made me a little sad. But maybe that means a main roster debut for him rather than going through NXT. But who knows at this point? I don't know what these dark matches really mean in the long run.
I don't think a lot of people do at this point. Final piece of news tonight is something that I'm just going to put it out there. If this happens, I called it like weeks ago. Let's start there. Actually, we both called it together. It's looking like we might be seeing Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown, which is probably going to ruffle a ton of feathers because I know how people feel about it right now. But I'm excited for that. It looks like because of the way that he exited the match yesterday, and with the draft coming up, and the fact that Drew has literally fought everybody on Raw at this point, it's looking like a good chance, and I will be so happy if this happens.
And he's no longer the big baby face of Raw. That's now Damian Priest.
Yeah.
So there's less need for him.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's going to be awesome to see him get some new matches and get some new competition. Mm. And maybe we'll get him fighting Roman again, which again might make people mad, and I can understand that, but I just want to go back to watching all of those old clips of Drew McIntyre being a complete schmuck.
Or we really run it back and he joins up with Dolph Ziggler and we get Scottish Psychopath back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also brings back, what's the name of his old walkout?
Oh, Broken Dreams.
Yeah, we bring back Broken Dreams.
Nobody but Drew wants Broken Dreams back.
I don't know about that.
Okay, maybe a lot of people do. I don't.
I don't know why. That doesn't seem logical, but anyway.
That's all I have for news, but again, if that happens, it's gonna be awesome. I feel like Drew needs to be on SmackDown right now to have any sort of like credibility or character development whatsoever.
I mean, just have him, like, they can do what NXT's doing and boost those smaller guys a little bit. Like, have him feud with fucking Carrion. Have him feud with Ricochet or Umberto or Angel Garza. Somebody. You know, instead of keeping the...
And he got a good match.
Yeah. Like, instead of keeping the big guys, like the main event guys in their own little circle, open it up. Have it be a ladder that everyone climbs. Like AEW. AEW needs to do their
That would
rankings.
make so much sense, and it's so mad that they don't... It makes me so mad that they don't do that.
Yeah, like, the thing that makes AEW feel, like, more fresh and everything is that they have their ranking system that everybody's a part of. And
yeah.
Yeah, like... It allows for more people to be in the main scene and get more opportunities. But also AEW pads wins and losses. So, I don't know how WWE would go about that. Probably on dark matches against local talent.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like apples and oranges now, honestly.
Also, Miriam says that Broken Dreams is the superior song, so you're outnumbered. Anyway, NXT. NXT, still the good old NXT that we used to know. We immediately started off in good NXT fashion with a match. Mandy Rose versus Soray. Mandy returning to NXT and making her re-debut against Soray.
I didn't hate this match as much as I expected to hate this match.
I thought the finish was really lame.
Until the end. I was going to say, until the end.
I mean, Mandy, we have known that Mandy is a good wrestler.
Yeah, totally. Here's the thing. She's underwhelmed me so much when she was in Raw. I feel like I'm like screaming into the microphone. She underwhelmed me so much when she was in Raw for the last year, basically, that I didn't have high expectations for this match at all. And Soray stresses me out now. So I was nervous about this match, but up until the finish, it was actually pretty decent. There's not much early on. Mostly just taunting from Mandy, a lockup. Mandy then cowers from Soray. We get kind of like kind of making this up, this term at least, a sort of gut wrench toss. Just picks her up by the midsection and throws her. Mandy then starts doing push-ups on Soray's own body. We then, however, get a weird roll through to Mandy. Like Soray kind of like, you know how like an armadillo can kind of just like, whew. It's sort of what it felt like with Soray. She just kind of like tucked in and went down. She rolls through on Mandy. She drop kicks her. Mandy sort of gets like a guillotine on Soray, which Soray just suplexes herself free from. Hits Mandy with a roundhouse. Mandy ends up stomping Soray in the corner. We get a suplex from Rose to Soray. Rose catches Soray, brings her down with a fallaway slam. Soray ends up getting her strange bridging submission that I would love to know the name of, but I don't. Onto Mandy. Mandy rakes her eyes. And then they're exchanging blows for a little bit, up until Soray hits her signature drop kick, the scary one, right to the face of Mandy. Mandy goes over the ropes, down, almost hits her fucking head on the way. And then I think the whole thing was that they were trying to like make it seem like Mandy broke her nose. Because Gigi and JC Jane, who were ringside at the time, like grabbed a towel from the timekeeper's area and like covered Mandy's face. So
yeah,
I guess maybe Sheamus is gonna hand down that Iron Mask.
Yeah, Mandy will get a matching one, and that's how Sheamus goes down to NXT. So after that, we get a Tommaso Champa promo. He says, "I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. You can't win them all." After the match, after last week's match, it's where I have a problem. Using a billy club to put Timmy on the shelf. Tommaso Ciampa is NXT, and tonight I fight for my home and my family. I'm gonna dedicate this ass whooping to Toothless Timmy. Motivated Ciampa is a scary Ciampa. And he hurls the chair into the fucking door behind him. And then...
I think we're going to see Tim again.
Yeah, I'm sure. On Impact, probably. You notice we haven't gotten any releases lately, and you know why? I thought about this before. Because they're taped. You release somebody after you tape their match for TV, and they appear. That brings up a lot of questions. I know they did the same with 205 Live, but that's not televised. It's not on television. So maybe once we return live, we'll be seeing a bit more releases ramp up, especially after Nick Khan said there would be more.
Yeah. Not to speculate, because no one likes that, but I guess to speculate. Nick Khan seemed pretty fucking certain.
Yeah, that this would just be the
that
trend.
There was going to be more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it seems... Yeah, I actually... Oh, man.
So once September 14th comes around, that'll be we might be seeing a bit more releases then. Just to guesstimate. If that is when they return to live. I know it was sometime in September.
Trying to find article that I wish I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I could remember when they said that they were going to go back.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was September 14th. I saw a Cultaholics report on it, but it doesn't say when it returns to being
It doesn't help that this is not the first time that they've been coming back from taping to live shows, you know. I'll try to look for the article in our bookmarks.
Okay. So right after that promo, we then have Duke Hudson versus Kyle O'Reilly.
It was not the right time for me to start looking for an article.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shit. Okay, well, I'll keep looking later. So let's get into this match. This match was a fucking banger. It was a banger of a match. Duke Hudson is fucking terrifying. Yeah. I worry, because like it doesn't look like he pulls a goddamn thing. Ever. Couldn't tell if you were frozen there. You sat so still.
No, I was reading through an article.
So to start this off, Kyle grabs Duke's leg. Duke removes him from the leg. Kyle gets a sleeper on Duke, who just slings Kyle off. He goes for the heel hook on Duke, who then literally rips Kyle off of him. Some
PW Insider says that the current plan is for NXT to go back to airing live on September 14th.
Okay. So there's some kicks to the midsection of Kyle and some big old knees to the midsection as well. one of those knees basically turns Kyle inside out. Looked nasty. We then get an abdominal stretch on Duke, but Duke ends up just slinging Kyle around with a nice hip toss. Kyle goes back to the heel hook. Duke ends up stomping on the stomach of Kyle. So much of the offense that Kyle attempted tonight was just immediately shut down by Duke. Duke then dropped Kyle ribs first onto like his thigh, like right into the femur. They kind of start like Duke has Kyle by the hands and like is kind of pulling his arms back. Kyle flips to get out of it. Duke ends up fleeing Kyle overhead. Kyle lands on his feet, ends up getting a flurry of offense onto Duke. There's a guillotine that gets locked in, and Duke Hudson looks like he is about to fucking pass out. He stands up, just kind of like, carrying Kyle at that point, and rams Kyle into the corner. There's a belly-to-belly suplex and a cover, but Kyle still kicks out. Hudson is looking like he's seeing ghosts. And then O'Reilly gets 2 rope-assisted dragon screws. It's a drop knee onto Duke, and then a heel hook, and Kyle wins immediately. Which I thought was like a little curious. I kind of wish that Kyle had gotten a little more offense.
No, I mean he did a lot of job. He did a lot of work, weakening Duke. Like the guillotine weakened him a lot. The couple heel hooks. I mean, it was anything but I guess it's called anti-squash when like all of a sudden somebody wins. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Duke Hudson is so fun to watch.
And Kyle, every match Kyle has put on a banger. Everyone. So after that, we moved on to Ilja Dragunov returning to NXT. He is in the ring, and curious. It's like a puncture in my chair. I saw it earlier today, and it looked like somebody had stabbed the arm of the chair with a knife. I don't know if it's just wear from me leaning on it, because it's the one I lean on, but there's like a tear in the padding. So then, yeah, we get Ilja Dragunov in the ring. He's getting a ton of chants and support from the crowd, saying you deserve it. Something about him staying. And he said, before I got back home, I wanted you all to see that I am still alive. And I'm not just alive, I feel more alive than I have ever felt. I feel like I survived the most intense battle of my life. I like it here. You will see me soon again. Definitely implying a return to NXT. I have shown what it takes to be NXT UK champion. The will, the passion, the soul, the struggle. Who was willing to go through all of that to take this away from me? As all of you saw, the ring general has fallen. Long live the Tsar. Speaking of NXT UK, we get an interview with Kaylee Ray. She says, let me tell you something. I make an impact wherever I go. I chose one of the biggest moments to let the world know I'm here. This division needs a boost. It needs a new top player. Someone to inject a little bit of life into it. I don't care about anyone else. Who even is Zoe Stark? She's lucky she has Io Shirai to hide behind. She heard I was coming, and hid in the tag division. Ember Moon is yesterday's news. Regal knows what I'm capable of. I dominated in the UK. My reign was the longest in 7 decades. I'm going to dominate in the US. We then get an interview with Carmelo Hayes. He says, I feel like a champ already. I have the golden ticket. People think I'm going to run it back with Kushida, But the North American champ just took a loss. But I could go to the top with Samoa Joe. And what's her name? Elektra something? Elektra Lopez?
I think it's just Elektra.
This one is like Elektra something or other. Not Elektra
I've only
Lopez?
ever written her down as Elektra.
Okay.
She had a match, so somewhat recently. She should be in your ranking somewhere.
Let me check the database. Yes, Elektra Lopez.
Okay.
She walks in and says that title is Santos's. Legado then walks in, and Santos says, "Since you're new, I'm going to give you a one-time pass. I want you to be able to walk into an opportunity, but stay out of my business." They walk out of frame, and Carmelo says to, I think it was Mackenzie, says, "Did he just threaten me?" And then we go back to the ring for Imperium versus Drake Maverick and Grayson Waller. All right.
This was the orangest match in the world.
Okay.
Between all four men.
Is Imperium orange?
The self tanner that they use, yes, they are very orange. I do like the pairing of Maverick and Waller in that they're both Australians with bleached hair and not much else between them, but I like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that Drake's like acting like
he's like the
he's got to be like
one.
the adult now.
Yeah. And like
Grayson Waller, like, oh, keep going.
They're showing off his in-ring ability, and he's like not, just the short guy who gets beaten up a lot. He's like a veteran.
Yeah. And I like that they're kind of making Grayson Waller a little less, from how I perceived him, was just kind of like mean.
An asshole.
Yeah. He kind of seems like a little more like just a young gun.
Probably because he was teamed with the face.
That's true. That's fair. I considered that. We start with Fabian versus Waller. Fabian has no time for Grayson's antics. He flattens him, sends him onto his ass, gets Marcel in. There's some right hands to Marcel and a forearm, but Marcel drives him into the corner, chops him sideways. Waller, however, is too fast for Marcel. Marcel keeps missing every punch he attempts. He ends up just pushing Waller down with a boot. Maverick gets in. Eichner gets in. There's a drop kick to the shin of Fabian, and then the head of Fabian. Gets some boots to the face of Marcel. He's loaded out. Drake Maverick is up and over. He lands on his feet. Up and over Fabian. Sorry, I'm like really bad tonight. I don't know why. Waller gets in. A nasty fucking boot to the face of Waller from Fabian. And Marcel comes through. He jogs around. Gets ready to be tagged in. Goes up top. Hits the Imperial Bomb for Imperium to win.
Yes.
Very scatterbrained right now. I don't know why.
It is that time of night. But after that, we had Johnny Gargano and Indy Hartwell backstage. Indy is pleading with Johnny, saying, "You gotta give him a chance." Dexter appears right behind Johnny, and Johnny turns, gets scared, and says, "You gotta stop doing that. Just be normal. Be normal." Then we get a promo from formerly The Brand. Oni says, "MSK, we called you out a week ago and we still haven't gotten a title shot." Pete says, "Champa, the most dangerous man on the planet. It's time to prove it." Ridge says, "Maybe you can tell Thatcher how motivated you are next to him in the hospital." We then go briefly backstage moments ago to Gigi Dolan and JC Jane attacking Soray. Right before Johnny Gargano faces off against LA Knight in a match.
So LA gets a wrist lock on Johnny. Johnny breaks free. He brings LA down into like kind of a calf crusher before transitioning into a front face lock. There's a side headlock on Johnny. Johnny wants the Gargano escape, but LA quickly scrambles to the rope. There's a shot to the throat of Johnny before several rough strikes to the face and jaw. We get a Hurricane Rana to LA and then an inverted atomic drop. Johnny tries to roll LA up. LA kicks out. Still ends up getting drop kicked by Johnny, so it wasn't really worth much. Some chops tonight, and Johnny begins hyperextending the elbow and shoulder of Knight over his own shoulder. There's a back elbow to the face of Johnny from Knight. He ends up getting a right hand under the jaw of Gargano, drops him throat first, or somewhere in that region, on the top rope. Gets a suplex to him. Gets a knee to the face of Johnny, and then Knight slingshots himself into Gargano. Gargano tries a backslide. This was post-commercial break. Tries a backslide, but LA breaks free. He hits Johnny with a neck breaker. Gargano kind of tries to go for a backdrop, but Knight just launches him down to the mat. Johnny then spikes Knight into the mat, kicks him in the face, gets an elbow to the face, sends an elbow to the face, rather, of Knight, and then hits him with the swinging flatliner. Such a cool move. I love that move. And there's a leaping forearm to the face of Johnny to slow his momentum. Knight goes to spear Johnny through the ropes. Johnny's not there, though. Johnny instead manages to lawn dart himself into Knight. Johnny is then standing over Knight in the corner, punching him, but LA lifts him. Gargano manages to slip down. He tries a roll-up, can't quite get it. LA lifts Gargano up, tosses him in the air like a goddamn, pizza dough, and then, falls back with him in, a half kind of fall away slam.
It was like a flapjack kind of thing. I don't know.
It was nothing I've ever seen before, and, I shit on the man, but that was something.
Let's call it a release flapjack.
Sure. We'll go with that. Knight then wants the BFT, but Gargano escapes.
Sorry, I hit my mic.
Gargano escapes. Knight goes for it again. He gets out of the way the second time. He tries for the Gargano escape. Different thing. But LA breaks out pretty quickly. There's a kick upside the head to LA, and Johnny wants the one final beat. He can't quite get it. Instead, he falls off the apron right into Dexter's arms. Doesn't quite realize that it's Dexter who is holding him. When he does, he's not pleased. LA then goes to attack Johnny ringside, but Dexter is there. He shoves Johnny out of the way, stares Knight down until Johnny ends up super kicking Knight. Then it's almost kind of sweet because Johnny gets back in the ring, Knight gets back in the ring. Johnny sees that Dexter's reaching out for a high five. Johnny almost gives him a high five. Then LA Knight had to ruin it and hit him with the BFT.
Yeah. Show that their relationship is improving, but it's not quite there yet. There's still ways to go. So after that, we get MSK goes to Regal's office. They want to give Birch and Lorcan a chance for the title. Regal says that they were stripped of the titles, the MSK continues saying that they were stripped of the titles and that they're fighting champs. Regal says after what they did to Thatcher and Champa, he was going to take away their opportunity. But since they insist, it'll happen next week. We then get a promo with Boa. Again, missing Xia Li. I think that that either means Xia Li's going to the main roster, or simply what?
Wasn't she hurt?
No, she's been having dark matches.
Okay, never mind.
But that's what I'm saying, that she probably wasn't able to be there for the tapings because she was traveling for a dark match at the main roster. But also, where was Dakota Kai tonight?
On the main roster.
Ah, okay. Losing to Ilja, probably.
Yep.
But with the Boa promo, one thing to conclude is that Mei Ying is competing next week. That's exciting. We then get Jessie Kamiya versus Raquel Gonzalez.
This was a weird one. I mean, it makes sense, but
yeah.
Jessie gets fucking tossed. She gets back to her feet pretty quickly, though. There's a knee to the midsection from Raquel to Kamiya. Raquel goes for a vertical suplex on Kamiya, but Kamiya manages to shift her weight. She comes down, lands on her feet. Still ends up tossing her upside down into the buckles, though. It's a sidewalk slam. Kamiya, however, manages to, just like Kyle O'Reilly did, hyperextend Raquel's knee over the top rope. Starts wrenching that knee after evading Gonzalez. There's a drop kick to Kamiya, though, that looked really bad. Gonzalez then just kind of rips Kamiya in half, hits her with a clothesline that basically sends Kamiya like upside down, hits the Chingona bomb and wins. But it was not Raquel's best night, in my totally not in shape opinion.
But on the bright side, Jessie Kamiya designed her own entrance gear.
Did she?
Yeah, she said so on Twitter.
I know that she got some flack recently, but I do like her. I have some hope for her. I just want her to be used better.
Yeah. She's a good wrestler. Yeah. So after that, we get Ember Moon in an interview. She says, I was enjoying my birthday, but Kaylee Ray wants to run her mouth. You want to make a name off me? You're the longest running NXT UK champion, but keep my name out of your mouth. Next week, do something about it. We then get an interview with Samoa Joe. He says, my expectations lie on establishing the precedent, what it means to be NXT champion. This began far before I ever captured this title. I was in Las Vegas holding trials, then I flew back here, was on no sleep. The mission needed to be accomplished. This being my third reign, it's taught me that legacy is important. A man like Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor, I need to carry on this precedent. How I represent myself to the world. This all lies in the hands of those around me. Who amongst the NXT roster will step up? We then get a promo from Ikemanjiro. He says, Kushida is my hero. Roderick Strong, I want to beat you too. And then we get Roderick Strong versus Ikemanjiro.
I'm not happy.
Why?
It hurts so much to see. Know what we could have had with Diamond Mine. Knowing that it could have been Marina and Arturo and Tyler and Roddy. It's incredibly. And I'm not saying that the Recksteiners, are they both Recksteiners or is it Creed brothers? Sorry, one is a Recksteiner. I know that much. But it's not to discount them, because I'm sure that they are talented. It's just that knowing that we almost had these familiar faces, just knowing what we could have had, it fucking sucks. I'm just so unhappy.
Yeah.
I was too unhappy, so I probably didn't take the best notes. I tried to. Roddy really just unloaded on Ikeman. Ikeman sent Roddy from the ring, then tried to dive out onto him. Roddy dodged him, and then sent Ikeman tailbone first into the stairs.
Yeah, those
Not a good look.
Very nasty. Very nasty.
Just the idea, like, the tailbone hurts so much to fucking, like, smack into anything.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the ring, there's an abdominal stretch on Jiro. I was actually surprised that Jiro continued. Because it looked like he was like writhing, and maybe he just sold it really well.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was in a massive amount of pain. But back in the ring, we get an abdominal stretch on Jiro and a kick under the jaw to Strong. Strong gets sent to the buckle, but he manages a jumping knee and a backbreaker. 2 backbreakers of the same style. Not my favorite backbreaker in the world. He basically just tosses Ikemen up, and Ikemen lands on like the knee/shin bone area. I don't know. I always loved Roddy's backbreakers because it looked so like exact.
Right.
It's like spiking somebody into your leg.
Mm-hmm.
And this one doesn't. This one feels a little more like poppy. So I don't know. I'm sure he's also probably working on it. So because it's something that's new to him.
Is it?
I'll save my comments.
Well, after that, we get Casey and Kaden an interview with Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. Kaden says, we're a team inside and outside the ring. Casey says, your team is forced. This happens naturally. Zoe says, Io's one of the most decorated champions in NXT history. I'd take a bullet for Io. And both Casey and Kaden are like, alright, that's a bit much.
She said that, and even I was like, okay.
Then Io says, I don't like any of you, but you are on my team, so we will win. We then get an interview with Cameron Grimes. He says, Ted taught me there's only $1 million man, but he also taught me there's only one Cameron Grimes. GYV walk in. The grizzled young veterans, soon to be recognized. It's the $1 million redneck himself. Nothing but a replica title to show for it. They pull out another replica title, and they say, does this make me a champion like you? How about we get you the North American title? Maybe the WWE title, or the Universal title. Another replica off the WWE shop. You guys needed a loan to get that, didn't you? This thing looks great, though. He grabs the belt and he's looking it over. He says, it's heavier than the other one's head gave me. He drops it on Gibson's foot, and he says, to the moon! And walks off. It's interesting that he'll be feuding with the tag team. And then we get...
I didn't understand that. It feels like they don't have anything for grizzled young veterans to do.
I mean, yeah, probably not. Who is there available for them to fight? Hit Row?
Who?
Where was Hit
Didn't see
Row
them at all
tonight?
today. Yeah. Just in time for us to get the exact feud I was hoping to get with Diamond Mine and Legado. Or not, sorry, Diamond Mine and Hit Row. With the guys and like one girl on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So that like it's like you can have like tag, you can get every title basically.
Wait, what, you said Diamond Mine and Hit, you mean Legato and Hit Row?
No, see, hang on. What I said was just in time for us to get the feud that I had wanted for Diamond Mine and Hit Row. We get that in the form of Legato versus Hit Row.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just, where the fuck were they?
I don't know. Maybe Top Dollar
I bet
was
somebody
off.
from Hit Row's probably had something going on.
Maybe Top Dollar was off recording one of those WWE Most Wanted Treasures or whatever.
He was running late because he was stuck in a bargaining disagreement.
He was giving someone a tour of the archives. So then we get Tommaso Ciampa versus Ridge Holland, tonight's main event.
What a match this was. So Ridge starts us off strong with a belly-to-belly overhead toss suplex to Champa and a kick to the spine. Champa gets a knee under the jaw to Ridge, and the boys from the brand pull Ridge from the ring, only for Champa to follow them. Ridge then confronts Champa, stopping him from confronting Pete and Oni and Danny. However, as he goes to shove Champa, Champa dodges him, sends him into the barricade, then wraps his arm around the ring post, gets him onto the announce desk, scaring Beth, punches him in the chest there. Doesn't really do much. Champa then wants the Willow's Bell, kind of decides against it. He chirps at Oni for a little bit and then gets absolutely fucking tossed by Ridge. Which Ridge has just such a penchant for taking a fully grown man and just flinging him.
Yeah.
Ridge stops Champa in the face before getting a chinlock on Champa. We get a clubbing blow to the lower back of Tommaso, and then Tommaso manages some forearms to the face of Ridge. We get a big uppercut to Champa that sends him to the ground. However, gets up, gets a knee under the jaw to Ridge and a few clotheslines in the corner. Then finally hits this nasty fucking lariat. But Ridge powers out of the cover like Champa was just a fucking gust of wind in the middle of the road somewhere. Champa attempts a fairy tale ending, ends up getting fucking Alabama slammed instead. Ridge hits another blow to the back of Champa. They're exchanging blows for a little bit until Champa begins barreling fucking down. He still has some energy left in him. Champa then lifts Ridge up, drops him with an air raid crash. There's a headbutt to the jaw of Champa. And then Ridge rams the lower back of Champa into the barricade. This slows him down, obviously. Champa nearly gets slammed over the apron, and I was so fucking thankful that he didn't. Champa, however, sees the opening as this is about to happen. He slips free. He hits the Willow's Bell to Ridge to win, which Ridge was not exactly thrilled about, as one might imagine.
Yeah. And then it's just a beatdown of Champa, which leads to MSK coming out to help. They have a little face-to-face with Danny and Oni. And then thus concludes NXT. Now that the recap is over, let's go into the reviews. After our reviews, we'll be doing our question segment. So if you have a question for us and you're watching in the live show, leave it in the chat so it's there when we move on. If you're watching on YouTube, leave it in the comments and we'll answer it in the next episode. Alright, so promo of the night. Let's do the best of the night right now. I am kind of... I don't know about tonight's promo of the night. Ilja's was really good, but there wasn't a whole lot there. Samoa Joe's was really good too, but again, not a whole lot there. I guess it's a competition of vernacular. I'll give it to Ilja Dragunov, in my opinion.
Yeah. His promo had a lot of heart, and I liked that.
Yeah. Alright, so now that we have our promo of the night, let's go to Wrestler of the Night. I don't know who I want to pick. I gotta think about this for a hot minute. I'll go through one by one, and then I'm sure you need time to think. I'm sure you're torn on a few. So, yeah, I don't. So first up, we had Mandy Rose versus Soray. I think I'll go with Mandy. I don't know. Mandy showed off her character. She did the push-ups on Soray, which is really which was fun. But in terms of pure wrestling skill, there wasn't a ton here to take away from, but I was more entertained by Mandy. Then we had Kyle O'Reilly versus Duke Hudson. I enjoyed Duke Hudson the most in this match. Kyle was great, but I think we got a great sense of Duke's character from this match. Kyle's selling was fantastic as always, but I think Duke really showed off his guns in terms of character work, in-ring ability. His moveset is so good, and how he can power out of a lot of submissions. Instantly showing like removing a weakness of his, which is submissions. Really got a sense of his character after today.
I have a lot of hope for him. I think I don't know what the fuck they've been feeding him since he was last on Raw, was it?
Yeah.
But, ow. He's amazing right now.
He is. Alright, so after that match, we had Imperium versus Drake Maverick and Grayson Waller. I'll go with Drake. Drake really showed off his character. We saw a different side of him, a more serious, veteran-like character. Yeah, I like that I like that he's being taken seriously now. It's great.
I guess this is the thing, is that like I was scared that the 205 Live guys were kind of going to get lost in the mix, but right now they aren't.
Yeah.
Ikeman's sort of, but he also has a lot of personality as it is, so...
I think it's harder for the Japanese wrestlers because Soray is also in a little bit of a mix-up too.
She's starting to get a storyline, though.
A little bit, yeah.
I think Soray's probably going to end up getting, like, a friend.
Yeah.
Somebody that's going to help her.
Yeah.
But, I was just worried that, like, because of everything that was happening, these 205 Live guys and the breakout guys, some of the breakout guys at least, I don't know, we're going to get lost in the mix, and they haven't, which is really cool. Grayson is a sign of this. Duke is a sign of this. I realize I haven't seen anybody else besides Carmelo Hayes from the breakout tournament, so maybe I'm wrong.
No,
maybe I'm mistaken.
Duke Hudson.
That's what I meant. Like, in addition to Duke and Carmelo, we did see he was in the breakout tournament. Oh wow, yeah.
And I know Joe Gacy,
Andre and Briggs.
Joe Gacy, Briggs, and Chase have all been on 205 Live.
Okay.
Alright, so after that we had Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis, and I'm going with Johnny. Or no, Johnny versus LA Knight. I'm going with Johnny. He's always so fun to watch. There's a reason he's one of my favorite wrestlers. His character work, having to split between, interacting with Dexter and LA Knight, was a lot of fun to watch, and just his in-ring ability is unmatched. He's incredible in the ring. Great mix of submission wrestling with entertainment wrestling. After that, we had Raquel Gonzalez versus Jessie Kamiya, and I guess I'll go with Jessie. I don't know. I wasn't really impressed with anyone in this match. It felt very sloppy all around, so yeah. Then we had Roderick Strong versus Ikemanjiro. I'm gonna go with Roddy. Roddy's backbreakers are fucking amazing.
He's a nasty motherfucker.
Backbreakers, his brain busters, that's
gotta work on his in-ring taunts.
Yeah. So does Omos. They can work on it together.
It's just Roddy kept saying, like, he started by saying, you made a big mistake, or whatever. And then, like, maybe 3 minutes later, he's like, just like I told you, you made a big mistake. And I was like, Roddy, we heard you the first time, buddy. I love him so much.
Yeah. All right. Then we had Tommaso Ciampa versus Ridge Holland. I'm going with Ciampa. Ciampa was so much fun to watch. His grit and motivation is so clear in the ring. I mean, he's so good at selling. Plus, he's just a tough ass dude. He's so much fun, especially against a brawler like Ridge. And that Widow's belt looked nasty. How quick it was.
Yeah, that looked mean.
Yeah. But if I were to pick one person for Wrestler of the Night tonight, you know what? I'm gonna go with Duke Hudson.
Yay!
Oh, she froze.
Did I?
A little bit.
I'm not gonna say no to that.
Alright, so now that we did that, let's move on to Match of the Night. As always, we'll go from the worst to the best today. There's a lot to sift through today. So let's just start right off with the worst match. Jessie Kamiya versus Raquel Gonzalez, 4 out of 10. This is very sloppy. Very sloppy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because can I guess your next match, Soray and Mandy?
Also 4 out of 10. Also 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Next up, 5 out of 10. Imperium versus Drake Maverick and Grayson Waller. There wasn't a lot to take away from it. It was a decent match. Very dominant from Imperium like the entire time, but it was nice seeing Drake Maverick being taken seriously. Next up, a 6 out of 10. Roderick Strong versus Ikemanjiro. It was very dominant, but it was a lot of fun to see Roddy's moveset and to see this brawl between two guys who don't go at it very often. I mean, they both have great styles, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun to watch.
Can't wait for Roddy versus Kushida.
Yeah, that's gonna be like takeover main event.
Good. It's gonna be mean.
Next up, 7 out of 10. Johnny Gargano versus LA Knight. It was a lot of fun, but the distraction finish did take away from it, just a little bit. But it does protect Johnny for the future. Although I don't know how Vince would like that, but Vince loves to protect everyone, so why not? Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of good character moments, great wrestling. It was great. Next up, 8 out of 10. Tommaso Ciampa versus Ridge Holland. Very fun, fantastic match. This was just a brutal brawl from the get-go. These two guys just fucking went at it, and it was a ton of fun to watch. I mean, what happens in matches like these that don't happen on the main roster is wrestlers looking tired, worn out. Like in a regular episode, you'll see that in main roster pay-per-views, but never in a main roster just regular episode. I mean, it was fantastic. These guys just went all out, and it really showed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, great match. But it is not the match of the night, and my pick for match of the night 100% is Kyle O'Reilly versus Duke Hudson, 8 out of 10. These guys really just went at it. Like,
Who are these men?
Kyle, no matter who he's fighting, he puts on a banger every time. And Duke, he is a fantastic wrestler, and I can't wait for him to be given more they should have all the new guys have to fight Kyle to see if they can make it through.
I kind of thought, because I liked Duke, that inevitably he would not be used ever again. That sort of seems to be the theme. But it seems like that he's got kind of like a backing right now, which is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a great personality. He's got great promo chops. He's been in it for a little bit now. And he's got kind of a unique strong arm style that's not really in NXT. Kind of like the Anthony Ogogo style boxing.
Duke versus Dexter would be a vicious fucking match. Neither of them seem to pull any punches.
Yeah. Duke versus Pete.
I really thought you were going to say Duke versus Pete's, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, that too. Also,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Low key, Duke versus Carrion. Like, that would be great. Now that Carrion's actually, like, kind of, he's being booked better, aside from his gear.
Dress a man up like a leather daddy once. And Mark's suddenly like, what if we paired him with Duke?
Alright, so promo of the night. Ilja Dragunov returns. Wrestler of the night, Duke Hudson. Match of the night, Kyle O'Reilly versus Duke Hudson. I assume that you agree.
I agree in full.
Beautiful. So, let us answer some questions. Let me refresh YouTube real quick. Alright, so we've got a question in the chat from Miriam. She asked, who do you think Carmelo is going to cash in his contract on? And who do you think is the best choice for him? So, two kind of separate questions. First one, who do you think he's going to cash in on? Prediction. Sheeta?
Yeah.
It would help to push forward the cruiserweight title. Yeah, I think that's the best decision right now.
I think that's the best decision. I think that's it just seems like it would make for good TV.
The best choice for him, though, would be to cash in on the tag titles. And then he shows up with Odyssey Jones. And
that'd be sick.
Just pulls a fast one on us.
That'd be really fucking fun.
Especially with their chemistry in that finals match.
I hope Odyssey Jones is happy wherever he is right now.
I'm sure he's just on 205 Live right now.
Yeah. I think Kushida, but what you're saying makes sense.
It's not gonna happen in a million years. Miriam also asked, do you think it'll be while Kushida is still Cruiserweight champ, or do you think he'll wait until Roddy has it and then do it? Because that would be interesting.
So there were rumors that Roddy was being set up for a title.
Yeah.
This was when Tyler was still with them, so I don't know if things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
They also, yeah. I don't know if things have changed, but if they haven't, I feel like it makes the most sense that they would do that.
Yeah, kind of have like the honorable match between them. But Roddy,
you can also see it happen with Kushida.
Well, oh, that's what I meant. The honorable match between Kushida and Carmelo. But I could also, but if Roddy gets it, I can't see him going for it. Actually, I could see him going for the North American title rather than the Cruiserweight title.
Who the fuck has the North American title?
Swerve.
Okay. I completely forgot about Swerve and that title.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my head, Johnny Gargano is the permanent North American title holder, so I've forgotten everyone else. It's sort of like how, like, after I turned 21, I forgot to continue to age myself mentally.
Yeah.
So now when people ask me, like, my age, I'm like, 21, and then you're standing next to me like, I could see him cashing in on Swerve, though.
Yeah, especially
And that would
since,
also be a very cool match.
I mean, they've built him up so much. Like, he's had a match with Kushida, Adam Cole. He's having a match with Santos next week. Like, he is not going to be a cruiserweight title guy.
So I think Kushida's kind of the easy answer. I think that the answer that would be really good would be Swerve.
Yeah. And he can go through, like, Ashante Adonis, and, or maybe even next week, MSK loses to Oni and Danny, and then MSK gets in a feud with Hit Row, and then you have MSK to deal with Ashante and Top Dollar, while Carmelo fights Swerve.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
Making good points.
Hire me, Triple H.
I think Triple H isn't in charge of that anymore.
It would be an investment. I'd be investing in the future of WWE by getting hired by Triple H.
Yeah, you would be. If there are no more questions, I have a question for you.
Okay.
And this is based on our conversation at the beginning of the podcast at Broken Dreams. What is your guilty pleasure walkout song?
Guilty.
Walkout song that you're, like, not proud of yourself for liking? You like it.
MJF's Walkout.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not really ashamed of it.
Are there any that you are ashamed of?
I mean, I do love Brock's. Like, that's not shameful. Huh. I'm trying to kind of skim through my playlist right now. I love No Way Jose's.
It's a pop.
Let's see. Oh. Mauro Ranallo's Walkout. It is so good. I don't think they really used it ever, but he has an incredible walkout called End of the Line.
Yes, Mark loves that song.
I do. Not as much as I love MJF's, though.
Can't think of MJF's off the top of my head.
I would try and, like, hum it or something, but can't right now. It's like it's called Better Than You.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I do know what it is. Because I remember you played it for me and you asked me to guess who it was, and then we finally got to that part and I was like, gotcha.
I think I can guess what yours is.
You don't have to talk about it out loud.
No, I will.
Oh, I have friends.
Is it Judas?
I have friends.
Judas? Oh, God. Is it?
So, I'm not proud of myself. So many people that I know fucking hate that song.
Miriam just said unsubscribed.
No! Every time in the Discord, when people are watching AEW and Chris Jericho comes out, they're all complaining about the song, and I'm just sitting there quietly like...
I mean, look. I'm not gonna say I love Judas, because I've heard it way too many times by now, but Chris Jericho is a good singer. That's all I'm gonna say.
I've never heard any other song. I've just heard Judas, and I'm just not proud of myself. I'm really not.
Why don't you
kind of
replace that taste with like Anthony Agogo's Walkout or something? Like, I would have rather you said The Factory's Walkout or fucking Dark Order.
I'm not proud of myself.
Or fucking Kyle O'Reilly's Walkout.
Actually, I love Kyle O'Reilly's Walkout. Calm down.
It is so lame.
It's so good.
It's lame. It's so generic. The only thing more generic is Diamond Mines. All you can think of is the metal clanging. You can't remember a single beat of that song besides the metal clanging.
Anyways, I can't believe I asked that question without seeing five steps ahead.
Yeah, how dare you try and make a conversation?
Maybe this is like how maybe deep inside I wanted this to get out.
Yeah.
Stop living in shame.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe this was my cry for help.
Ugh. Alright. It's not good. Okay, so what? Let me flip it around, and this will be the last thing before we end the podcast. What is a beloved song that you can't stand?
Let's see. How can I not dig myself a deeper grave?
You'd be like fucking Rebel Heart.
No. God, what are like really liked walkout songs?
Jeff Hardy's Jurassic Express.
No, I like that one. Jeff Hardy's I don't hate, but I just don't. I feel like it's always played super quietly, so I don't understand what it is now.
I just remembered fucking Miro's Walkout. That is so good. His new one is incredible.
I don't know if I don't like any walkout songs.
Really?
Yeah. Like I don't know if I don't like any popular walkout songs, like walkout songs that people love.
Well, there's The Rocks, which is the first one off the top of my head. John Cena's.
Never. I love that.
Burn It Down.
No, I love that one.
Brock Lesnar's.
I don't like Brock's. I really don't like Brock's.
You don't like Brock's? Oh, what about The Game? Triple H.
I love it for what it is. It is not my favorite walkout song by any means.
Okay. What about Randy's?
That is actually my lifeblood. Thank you.
I thought of two for myself, ones that I can't stand. It's two. First one, which isn't the most popular song, it's Chris Statlander's Walkout. I don't like it.
Really?
I really don't. I don't like how it's like kind of the climbing tone and then the instant drop into the fucking song. It's so jarring.
Oh, keep going.
The second one is Rey Mysterio's.
Ooh, okay. I don't really like that one. That's one of those songs where, just like Jeff Hardy's, where it's like I've heard it enough, and I'm just like.
You see, the more I hear it, despite hearing it a lot, it gets worse for me. I really can't stand Booyaka.
I genuinely cannot think of any that I just do not like. Let's see here. I like that I can just go to Spotify and see that you've been listening to WWE music recently. Your top artist is literally the WWE.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's incredible.
What about the Shield?
First of all, that's a bop.
Oh no! Oh god, I'm sorry.
Oh, what about Big Show's theme? I can hate that.
I don't think anyone likes that. I don't think anyone likes the
thing is that I don't know what one I don't know what ones people really do like. Outside of
Braze.
John Cena. Right, yeah.
I Walk Alone, Batista.
Oh, wait. What? I already answered this. I don't like Broken Dreams.
I think that's liked for the meme. What about Basic Thugonomics? Do you like that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I know what your not liked one is. Your unpopular one. Cult of Personality.
Oh, yeah, I don't really like Cult of Personality at all. Another guilty pleasure, though, is Darby Allin's.
It also helps that it's got a sick animation with it, too. And a fucking
I was just kind of like a bop noodle.
A student film with every walkout. But I think we can all agree at the end of the day, the best walkout is Kurt Angle's.
Either Kurt Angle's or Rob Van Dam's.
The whole fucking show.
Whole fucking show.
That's the only one I'll acknowledge.
I listened to that song the other day when I was walking to run some errands. I was just like, this is fucking silly. Ridiculous.
I need Impact to put Moose's walkout on YouTube or on Spotify. Moose has the best walkout. Period.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right. So, Liz, would you like to close out the show?
Yes. Now that my darkest secret can be saved on YouTube for eons to come. If you tuned in tonight, thank you so much. And if you tuned in the future, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Please tune in on Friday for SmackDown, where we'll be talking about SmackDown and nothing else, because there's nothing else going on Friday, I think. Right? Nothing else is happening on Friday.
No, besides Rampage.
Mark, I'm making fun of your birthday.
My birthday is Friday?
Yeah? Isn't it?
I'm fucking with you.
Oh. God damn it. But yeah, please join us on Friday for SmackDown and a special birthday episode of Pinfall Podcast where we will drink glasses and drink that one bottle of Prosecco we haven't consumed yet.
Wait. Did I find it? I think I found Moose's walkout on Spotify.
Oh god, you got me excited. I thought something happened.
Adding that to my playlist. All right. So yeah, follow and subscribe and all that jazz. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. All of our previous episodes are on there. Our Twitch or the live show is twitch.tv/Pinfall Podcast. Check us out on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our WWE 2K20 stream SummerSlam. And then our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23, and we'll see you on Friday. for SmackDown.